727-836-732. Hi, Letty, can you hear me? Hi, Letty, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Let me see if I can turn this up and see if I can create some sound here.
Incredible. I mean, there are no words to describe her. The whole weekend.
Can you hear me?
Like a dream. Oh, and you. Hey, you were so right.
All right, I'm just waiting for just a couple more people to join the room. And yeah, let's see, we have a couple more.
So I'm going to be muted because I have a work meeting going on in the background. So if you don't hear me say,
I can't hear you, Letty. Let's see if I can look at the controls here. It looks like
can you hear me now?
Microphone is
I unmuted
on.
it. Can you hear me now?
Maybe it's on my end. Let's see here.
There's only 4 people in this class. Yeah, and they all have their videos on.
Oh, we can hear that guy. Hear me, right?
Hey, Chrysanthi.
Hey, Nicole. How are you?
All right, I think everyone is here. Only issue is I am having some issues hearing you guys. So my apologies. I want to just check something real quick here. I'm gonna mute everyone. And then I'm gonna unmute. All right, so just a quick test. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. If you guys can just send me a thumbs up. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Linda. And we'll go ahead and get started with our practice here. What we'll do is make sure you have your mat set up, make sure you have some water and a towel. And this is a beginner class. So basically what we're gonna be working on is Half Moon today. And it's a slower paced class, so I'm gonna respect the description of the class, and it is beginner, so it's going to move a little slower. It will kind of help us work on alignment today as well. So you have the option to have your video on, or you can put your video off. It's up to you. If you want me to check in and take a peek at your alignment today, feel free to keep the video on just so I know what's going on in your practice, but that's up to you guys. I also sent a Spotify playlist in that email. So if you have another device where you can, if you want to play music in the background, I won't be playing any music just because it sometimes affects the sound of the class. but that's also an option for you guys. So I hope you guys are ready and welcome to class, and we'll get started in a seat today. So you can sit with your ankles crossed out in front of you. And just start to move those hips side to side and settle into your mat, or you can have a blanket underneath you. We'll start off in a seated meditation, and we'll just warm up the body here real quick. We'll start to just extend the arms out wide. Then inhale, send your hands up towards the ceiling. Press the palms in and extend the fingertips up, inhale. And then bend your elbows wide, cactus back bend. So just extend the center of the chest up and let the head roll back. We inhale, wiggling those elbows out wide. And then on your exhale, I just want you to fold over, extending your palms out in front of you. Almost just like a child's pose. You're squeezing the chin to the heart, head drops down. Create a few deep breaths here. Feeling the extension of the hips drop back. Maybe you can feel your elbows and your shoulders drop closer to the floor. And create 3 to 4 deep breaths here. See if you can wiggle the hands out a little further. Feel the hip creases lengthen back and drop that chest down. Maybe it feels nice to move your ears side to side to just relax the back of the head. And I want you to feel that stretch at the low spine. 2 more deep breaths, inhaling. Exhale. Another deep breath in. And exhale, let that air out. We'll start to send our hands up towards our kneecaps. Deep breath, roll the shoulders up towards the sky. Then exhale, soften those shoulder blades back. 2 more rounds. Inhale, lift up your elbows and the shoulder blades. And then exhale, soften them back down. 1 more time. I want you to squeeze those shoulders up and hold it here. Inhaling, sip into your nostrils and the lungs all the way to the tailbone. And then exhale, soften those shoulder blades back and down. Start to close the eyes and just get into your meditative seat. And I want you to connect to a sense of awareness today. Use this quiet moment in our seat before we move and wiggle around to create this integration of your intention of awareness. Sometimes it's very easy to drop back and review these past few weeks, or maybe a time before quarantine happened. And maybe we long for that, or maybe we start comparing that to what our current status. Also, sometimes it's hard to stay aware when we're thinking about the future. Maybe creating hypothesized scenarios in our heads or worst case scenarios. So if we linger in the past way too long, or searching and seeking for the future, we miss out on a sense of awareness. I want you to breathe in this mantra of I am capable of being aware right now. I am aware. I am powerful. And I am hopeful. I am aware. I am powerful. I am hopeful. Settle those hips down and feel the heaviness and the weight of the legs extending to the floor. I want you to feel the sitting bones ground down into the floor, into your mat. Slowly feel that extension of the spine. Create that sense of awareness right here in the seat. Maybe notice where things feel tight and cold. Where do things feel open? And that could be in your physical being, your physical body. It could also be in your mental state right now. Just allow those observations, good or bad, to just happen now. Drop the judgment and the ego and just be here. Can you allow for 3 more deep breaths? Inhale slowly for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, 1. And then exhale, empty out that breath. I want you to blink the eyes open and just wiggle your shoulders into circles, one direction, maybe shifting off to the right, forward, and to the sides and to the back. Using control of the core to move the torso in and out. And then when you're ready, you just move those circles in the opposite direction, shifting those shoulders back, down, and around. In the next couple of breaths, I want you to start to transition into a tabletop. So you'll start to come onto your hands and knees. So slowly start to move your palms on towards the ground. And just start to create space in between the kneecaps and your quads. Start to create a cow and calf. So inhale, lengthen the center of your chest forward and press the chin forward, tilt the tailbone high. And then on your exhale, I want you to send your chin to your heart, tucking the tailbone under. Create about 4 to 5 more of these. Just moving the sternum forward on your inhalation. And then exhale, curve and round the spine in and up. Create about 3 more. Then from here, just another 4 to 5 breaths of any movements that feel good to you. I just want you to just create that sense of awareness now. Where does my body feel right now? Where is the tension in my body? Is it in my shoulders, in my spine, or in my hips? Or is it tension in the mind? Wherever it is, just drop into that sense of awareness now. 2 more breaths. And then from here, we're going to slowly just come forward into a modified high plank. We'll create 3 push-ups. We'll inhale, exhale, bend the elbows and lower the chest and the chin down. Inhale, straighten your palms. Exhale, slowly soften down. 1 more time, inhale, hands are pressing down. Exhale, draw the chin and the chest down. And then I want you to squeeze back into a child's pose. So this is your pose wherever you need to reset in this practice. You can have your knees spread out wide, belly button in between the thighs. Create another breath in. Exhale. So we'll do that baby sun salutation 1 more time. Knees underneath the hips. Lengthen the chest forward, modified high plank. 3 push-ups now. Inhale. Exhale, bend those elbows close to the ribs, belly and the chin drop. Inhale, straighten your arms. Exhale, squeeze and lower down. Inhale, straighten out those arms. Exhale, drop the chest and the chin down. Inhale, straighten out the arms. Just press back into that child's pose. 2 deep breaths, inhaling. Empty out the lungs. 1 more inhale. 1 more exhale. Slowly come forward into a tabletop. Downward facing dog. So you're in an upside down V shape now. Take a look at those hands. You want those fingertips out wide, pressing into the muscle between your thumb and index fingers. Pedal out your feet so you can lengthen out your hamstrings. Maybe shimmy those hips side to side just to warm up into your first down dog. And when you're ready, soften into your first solid and strong downward facing dog, holding it here, pressing into the palms. We press into that muscle between the thumb and index fingers and extend the belly towards the thighs. Wrap the shoulders back and in and create 2 more deep breaths here. Ears in between the biceps, stretch the tailbone back. Feel the heels soften towards the earth. Another inhale. And then on your exhale, I want you to slowly wiggle your toes all the way to the top of your mat. Tiny little steps, maybe 5 to 6 little steps of control as you move your feet forward. Start to grab onto your legs by wrapping your arms around your legs. I want you to really squeeze the belly towards the tops of the thighs and keep that connection of the belly over your thighs. From here, you can soften the hands down. Start to walk your fingertips off to the right. On the exhale, move your hands off to the left. Just start to open up here, grounding the big toes and the pinky toes and the heels down. And just feel this lengthening of the weight of your head and shoulders, reaching towards the right and left edges of your mat. 2 more rounds. Walk the hands to the left. Walk your hands over to the right. 1 more time, hands shift to the left. Hands shift over to the right, forward fold, ragdoll, head down. Bring the toes into touch and then rise on up for your first mountain pose. So lengthen all the way up to the sky, grounding into the heels, inhale. And then bend those elbows wide. Cactus back bend. So squeeze glutes in and forward. Pull the head back, wiggle elbows wide, inhale. Exhale, we forward folds. Halfway lift, hands are gonna press onto the shins. And then on the exhale, high plank. So you have options here. You can come onto the kneecaps just like we did in those push-ups, or you can keep the knees lifted. Inhale, exhale, low plank. So we're gonna hold it here midway with the elbows bent, and then shift the hips forward, pressing into the tops of the feet. Lengthen the tailbone underneath you and pull shoulder blades back. Big breath in. Exhale, curl toes under, down dog. Heels down, chest to the kneecaps, inhale. Exhale. We're gonna move a little quicker now, so bend the knees, look at your hands. 1 big step to the top of your mat. Halfway. Hands on the shins. Exhale, we fold. Rise on up, connect the hands in. Bend the elbows. Inhale, cactus, bend those elbows. And then exhale, forward folds. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step it back, high plank. Again, use your knees if you need that support. For low plank, pause right there midway, and then press into the tops of your feet, shift the hips towards your palms. Curl toes under, down dog. So we'll warm up the body and create 3 more rounds of our sun salutation. So inhale, gaze at your fingertips, step it forward. Halfway, and fold. Rise, mountain, inhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, back bend, chest lifts, elbows wide. Exhale, fold, spine over the legs. Halfway lift, hands to the ground, high plank to low. Up dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Inhale, bend knees, chin lengthens towards the top. Step or hop. Halfway lift. We fold. Rise on up, stretch the hands up to the sky. Bend those elbows. Inhale, squeeze into those glutes, chest lifts. Forward fold on the exhale. Halfway lift. Hands to the ground. Again, high plank to low. Use those knees for that support if you need it. Up dog. Downward facing dog. You have 1 more, go at your pace, or you can come with me. Bend knees, look at the palms. Just step it forward. Halfway lift. Hips over your heels, chest towards the front. Bend the knees to fold. Rise on up, mountain. On your exhale, bend the elbows. Cactus back bend, float ribs up. Exhale, soften and forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the ground. Vinyasa, high plank to low. Up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog. Create 2 breaths in your down dog. You can shimmy those hips off to the side, shake out the head. Just notice any lengthening and warmth in the body. Soften those heels down. Deep breath here. Press into the hands. Tailbone up, inhale. Chin to your heart, ears in between your elbows. Start to look at your hands. We'll bend our knees, inhale. Exhale, step or hop to the top. Half lift. Fold. And then this time we're gonna come into a chair pose. So knees are bent over the heels, tailbone presses back, and just start to lift the palms up towards the sky. I want you to squeeze those knees in. Start to turn the pinkies in and feel your arm bones lengthen back. Grounding into the heels, press into the big toes and pinky toes. 2 deep breaths. Another inhale. And then on your exhale, forward fold. Half lift, hands press onto the legs. High plank. Bend the elbows for low plank. Up dog. Downward facing dog. So we're moving into a sun B now. So right foot will lift up to the sky. Step your right foot in between your hands. So you're coming into a warrior 1 stance. So you want your left heel pressing into the ground. And you want this right knee stacked over your right ankle. Yeah, stretch the hands up to the sky. Tuck tailbone under and knit the front ribs in. 2 deep breaths. Squeeze the glutes in. Feel the extension of the fingertips lifting up. And then on your exhale, bind your hands behind you. Drop the head back, creating that back bend, squeezing the wrists together. Inhale. Exhale, humble. Fold over your right leg and squeeze your fingertips up towards the sky for humble. Deep breath in. On the exhale, hands to the mat, step it back, down dog. Big inhale. Exhale, let it out. 3-legged dog, left foot is gonna press up to the sky. Step left foot in between the hands, slowly taking your time, warrior 1. Create those deep breaths here, and then check for that alignment. So you want that left hip pressing back behind you, right hip forward, and maybe you have to widen out your heels a little. Send the palms up. 1 more breath in. 1 more breath out. Drop the palms behind you, opposite thumb on top this time, and lengthen the knuckles down. Peel the heart up. Inhale. Exhale. We fold over that left leg. I want you to feel that opening in the left hip, pressing down into that left heel, and feel your knuckles lift up towards the sky. Hands to the ground. Step back, high plank, low plank, up dog. Downward facing dog. Bend knees, inhale. Exhale, we move to the top. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise on a chair, bending the knees, hands will lift up. Exhale, we fold. Half lift, hands onto the shins, extend the spine forward. Hands to the ground. High plank, low plank. Up dog. Downward facing dog. 1 big inhale, right foot lifts up, 3-legged. Send that right foot in between the thumbs, warrior 1. Hands will lift up to the sky. Exhale, hands will bind. Inhale for that back bend. Exhale, humble. Inhale. Hands to the ground, step back, down dog. Left foot lifts up. Left foot in between the palms. Warrior one, inhale. Exhale, bind the hands. Inhale, float lungs up. Exhale, humble warrior. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground. Create that vinyasa, or you can always skip them and come into your down dog. So we'll do that one more time on the right and left. Connect the toes to touch, look at your hands. Exhale, step or hop. Halfway. Exhale, folds. Rise up, chair pose. Bend those kneecaps, soften those hips back and down. Nice work. Spin those pinkies in. Exhale, we fold. Halfway. Hands to the earth, vinyasa. Use those knees, bend the elbows. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Pick up right foot, one-legged dog. Step it through, warrior one. Take your time, heels down, hands up to the sky. Exhale, we bind. Drop the head back, knuckles will drop down. Humble warrior, fold over that right leg, extend the arms up. Hands to the ground, downward facing dog. Pick up the left foot, three-legged. Bend that left knee, come forward, warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, we bind. Maybe the left thumb is on top. Drop the fist down, pull the chin up. Exhale, humble. One big inhale to straighten the arms up a little higher. Hands to the ground. Option for that vinyasa or down dog. Create 2 deep breaths in that down dog. Wiggling out the hips, shaking out the head. And you have 5 more breaths. You can stay in a down dog to stretch out the backs of the legs or come down to the floor. Squeezing into the hips back, palms out, forehead down. 5 deep breaths in a child's pose or down dog. You can also grab some water, wipe the sweat off your face, and just check in. Again, utilizing the sense of awareness in the body. Notice if you've created a little more heat in the body, and just soften in. Allowing for those slow breaths to calm the nervous system down. 3 more deep breaths. We'll create 1 more inhale here to the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then exhale that air out for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back into a downward facing dog. I want you to start to bend your knees, look at your hands, 1 step or hop to the hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, we'll fold. And then this time just rise on up into a mountain pose. Hands are gonna reach up to the sky. And then this time we'll take standing kneecap raise. So just bend your right knee into the belly and start to grab onto your right kneecap. I want you to take in a deep breath. So we're pulling that right knee up towards the sky, right thigh into the belly. And you're gonna step this right foot to the back of your mat for star pose. So you're gonna turn off to the right, toes off to the right edge, hands are out wide. We inhale. And then on your exhale, start to soften and fold over. Wide-legged stance, hands down. Send your right palm to the ground and lift that left hand up to the sky. Twist open, belly turning off to the left. Stack that left shoulder over the right, inhale. On your exhale, left hand down. Right hand squeezes up to the sky. Send your gaze up to your right thumb. Turn the belly to face the right side of the room. And then exhale, hands back down. This time, hands are on your waist. Halfway lift, pulling the chest forward, press into the heels, rise back up. So you're back into a star pose. We're gonna turn our right toes to the back of the mat to set up for triangle. So just extend the palms open. Your right leg is straight, right toes to the back of the mat. Inhale. You're gonna hinge over your right thigh, right hand down, left hand lifts up for triangle. Deep breath, inhale. Open up the throat and exhale. Create another inhale. So I want you to tuck that right hip underneath you. I want you to turn belly button up to the sky, reaching right fingertips up. And then on your exhale, just bend into that right knee. Extended side angle. So your right elbow on top of that right thigh. Left heel presses down and we stretch out the entire left side of the body. Again, grounding into the heels. I want you to squeeze that right glute underneath you so you can rotate belly button up. Feel your right fingers reaching towards the back of your mat. Another inhale. Then on your exhale, warrior two with the left knee bent now. Open up the hands, bending that left knee, inhale. On your exhale, just windmill the hands down, downward facing dog. Full deep breath in that down dog. Inhale. Exhale, empty out your breath. Bending kneecaps, look at your hands. One step or hop to the hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Rise on that mountain pose. And then set up for standing kneecap raise. So that right foot is grounded down. Hug this left knee in now. Steady the gaze up and forward. Stack shoulders over your hips. Squeeze that left knee up a little higher. Use your hands to squeeze that left thigh in. We'll transition into star pose. Left foot steps back. Hands are open. On your exhale, start to fold over the legs. Right hand down. Turn the chest open to the left. Left hand squeezes up to the sky. You can keep that left hand up towards the ceiling, or maybe this time you wrap your left arm around your right hip, or you soften that left palm onto your low back. Feeling your right shoulder pressing forward as you roll that left shoulder back, and then switch out the sides, left hand down. Extend that right hand, stretch it up to the sky. You have that option for binding that right arm around your hip, or just flatten that right palm onto the low back. Press the heels down, press into that left palm, and rotate your belly to face the right side. Another inhale, another exhale, hands back down. I want you to create your halfway lift, wiggling your hands back to the hip creases. Use your core to lift the chest up. Set up your triangle on the opposite side now. Left toes turn out. Hands are out wide. Lean over that left leg, left hand down, right hand up to the sky. Tone that left glute. Press that left glute under. Turn the chest and the belly open. And start to turn your heart up towards the sky. Start to bend that left knee, transition into extended side angle. Left elbow, left thigh, and start to open up from that right heel into the right hip, into the right shoulder. Press down into that left elbow and turn the belly up. Gaze past your right fingertips. Squeeze the glutes in to find that steadiness in the lower half of the body. And then slowly we'll transition into warrior two to the top. So rotate the toes and point to the right, bend that right knee, inhale. Soften the shoulders down. Another inhale in warrior two. Hands to the ground. Option for down dog or create that chaturanga. Knees can be on the ground, low plank to up dog. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Open up the throat, exhale. Soften the knees, look at your hands. One step or hop to the hands. Halfway lift. We fold. Rise on up, mountain pose, inhale. Exhale, standing kneecap raise. So hug that right knee in, pull that right knee up to the sky, and then start to step that right foot back for star pose. Hands out, inhale. Exhale, hands to the hips, and we fold. Right hand down, left hand reaches up to the sky. Option for that bind, left arm around your hip or low back. Inhale. Exhale, left hand down, right hand squeezes up to the sky. Stack that right shoulder underneath your left, inhale. Maybe you bind that right arm around your hip. Come back to hands on the ground. Halfway lift, hands to the hips, and we rise on up. Set up for that triangle, turn the right toes off to the right. Extend that right palm, reach it towards the back of the mat, hinging at the hips. Triangle pose. So I want you to feel for your body slipping into two planes of glass by tucking that right hip under and then rolling that left shoulder back. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Extended side angle, bending your right knee. Press that right elbow down, rotate the chest up, and start to extend that left palm long. A big deep breath in. Exhale it out. Transition to warrior two at the top. So bending into that left knee, palms open. Hands to the ground, windmill the hands down, down dog. Bend knees, look at your hands. One big step, hop, or step forward, halfway. Exhale, we fold, and then rise, mountain pose, inhale. Balance on that right foot, hug that left knee in. Give that big left leg a hug, and flex the left toes. Inhale, transition into your star. Open up the palms. Exhale, wide-legged folds. This time, I want you to open up your hips a little more by bending your knees and walking your hands right and left for side lunges. So just start to move your hips right and left as you wiggle your fingertips off to the sides. Create 2 more rounds, moving those hips right and left. And then start to come forward into that wide-legged fold. Hands underneath you, or hands can grab onto the ankles and drop the head down for 2 breaths. So the heels are wide. The head is lengthening towards the earth. Hands are on the ankles or hands are on the ground. Drop the head and the shoulders down. Press into the feet, big toes and pinky toes. Spread. And then from here, halfway lift. Lengthen out the spine. Hands will pop up underneath the shoulders. Hands to the hips, come back up. We'll set up for that triangle. Turn the left toes to the left. Open up the arms. Left hand slides down your left leg. Squeeze and tone that left glute underneath you to rotate the chest and belly open now. And see if you can turn the chin and the heart up to the sky. Slowly come on up. Warrior two, bending that right knee, toes turn to the right side. Inhale. And then on the exhale, hands to the ground. High plank to low or skip it, down dog. Full deep breath in. Open up the mouth and exhale, let it all go. From here, just soften onto the kneecaps or just sit in a seat. And just create a few breaths here. Hands on your lap, you can close the eyes for 3 to 4 breaths. I want you to connect to that sense of awareness now. How is your body feeling? Is there a sense of opening in the body? Or is there a sense of fear? 2 more deep breaths. And just slowly open the eyes. I hope everyone is feeling okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk you through a drill to work on our half moons today. So you can just chill, grab some water and towel off. I'm going to demonstrate it and then we'll do it together. So I hope everyone feels pretty open in those hips and the legs feel nice and warm. And we're gonna work on slowly moving into our half moons today. So we've been working on the wide-legged stance, star pose, and that triangle pose and extended side angle. So what we're gonna do is if you have use of a wall or a couch, sometimes it's nice to have something to prop you up with when you balance here. But what we'll do is we'll move into triangle. So we'll have our heels out wide, triangle pose, the right toes turn out. And so I'll demonstrate this real quick. So you don't have to do anything, just watch here. So what we're trying to do is really lean this left shoulder and this left hip back behind us. And we're driving our right glute underneath us. So we're flattening out the body here. From here, you'll just bend into your right knee, coming into that extended side angle. And then from here, if you happen to have blocks, I'm gonna place my blocks. Let me move so you guys can see me. So I'm gonna place my blocks right in front of my right foot. Right toes are pointing forward. We're gonna float on up into that half moon. So if you happen to have a couch that you can lean your leg up against or your hips up against, and then right palm down, you can also play with this with your couch with your right elbow on top of the couch. So what we're looking for is right toes forward, a squeezing of this left hip over the right, and then this left shoulder over the right. So we're really grounding that right heel into the floor, left shoulder stacked over the right, left hip over the right hip. And we'll hold that for a few breaths. And then from here, we'll just come back into that wide-legged stance and try the opposite side. So I'll demonstrate the left side and then we'll all do it together. So it's just opening up the legs into that wide-legged stance, setting up for triangle, left toes out, sliding that left hand either onto the couch, onto your blocks, or onto that left leg. Then you'll transition back into your extended side angle. Left elbow, left thigh, you're reaching that right palm forward. And then we'll move into that half moon. So either have your left hand on your blocks or your left elbow on your couch, and just start to turn the chest and the belly open. So I'm gonna lengthen my left palm right in front of my left foot, and my left toes are pointing straight, and my right hand is reaching up to the sky. And I'm finding that alignment. There's a straight long line from my right shoulder on top of the left. I'm pressing that right hip over the left hip, and my right heel is pressing back. So you guys want to give it a shot? So towel off, grab some water, and then we'll start to do this together. We'll work on our half moons today. So if you can, come into a stance. If you happen to have a wall or a couch to back up into, you can use that extra prop. Otherwise, just come into a star pose. Heels out wide, hands out wide. Inhale. On your exhale, turn the toes up to the right. Fold for triangle. So lean that right palm down your right leg. I want you to turn that left hip back behind you, pressing left hip back, bend that right knee, coming into your extended side angle. From here, I want you to gaze at your right toes. Make sure they're pointing straight forward, and then find a spot for your right palm to rest on. So that right palm can be on a stack of books or your blocks, or maybe you just rest your right palm and your right elbow on a couch. And I want you to feel for your right toes pointing forward, right heel down, and then turn the belly open. Press that left heel back, and we'll hold. Turning belly to the sky, gaze up at your right hand if you can, for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Taking your time, just come back into that star pose. Just open up the hands, inhale. Exhale, just bend the knees and fold it forward. 2 more times, straighten out the legs, hands out wide, inhale. Exhale, bend the knees wide, hands down to the earth. 1 more round, straighten out the legs, squeeze the glutes, hands up to the sky. And then exhale, hands are at your heart. 1 breath in, 1 breath out. And then we'll set up for the left side. So if you happen to have blocks, feel free to move them off to the left side. You can also lean up against your couch like I'm doing. And then star pose, to really stretch out the hands. Triangle, turn the left toes up to the left side, inhaling. And then exhale, slide that left hand down your left thigh, and make sure your heels are out wide enough to create that lean. Turn the belly up towards the ceiling, press your right hip back, and then bend that left knee, extended. Extended side angle, left elbow, left knee, right hand reaches. I want you to stretch out the right side ribs, press into that right heel. Another inhale, and let's prep for that half moon. So your left toes are pointing, left hand to your blocks, left palm down, squeeze and kick that right heel back. You're extending that right hand up towards the ceiling, and I want you to find that steadiness and create your checks. Check for that left heel and left toes pointing forward. Check for that right hip over the left, right shoulder over your left shoulder. I want you to lean that right shoulder back, flex your right toes, tone that right glute. For another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release, heels down, open up the arms. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold over the legs. 2 more times, hands extend up. Exhale, fold and release. 1 more time, hands will lengthen up to the sky. Exhale, fold and release. This time, I want you to just grab onto your biceps, turn the toes out in front of you, and just bend your knees and sway here, releasing out the back, releasing the back of the head and your neck, and sway side to side, moving the torso off to your left knee, off to the right knee. Just hang heavy, maybe clasping the hands at the base of the skull feels nice. Or you can just let the knuckles drag onto the floor. 2 to 3 more breaths. And then slowly, we'll come into a seat, and we'll create 2 sets of back bends today. So you can either fold up your mat, just double up your mat to support your knees so you have a little more support, or if you happen to have your towel or a blanket, you'll come up into a kneecap stand. So we'll work on camel for our back bend. So you want to make sure your kneecaps are right underneath your hips. You're going to tuck the toes under. Start to send your hands to the base of your low back. I want you to squeeze into those glutes to drive the tailbone down. You're pressing your quads forward. Press the hands into your low back to squeeze the belly forward. And then wiggle the shoulders down and start to let the ribs float up. So you have the option to keep your hands firmly grounded here into the low back. Or maybe it feels nice to slide the palms to the backs of the legs. Or if you feel open, start to wiggle your fingertips to your heels. We'll stay here and hold this for another 5. Drop the head back, open up the throat, squeeze the glutes in, press the quads forward for another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower onto the shins. We'll create 2 rounds of breath here, knees and quads together, hands are on your lap, inhaling. Exhale, empty out. Another breath in, inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, we'll create 1 more camel. So start to come up onto the kneecaps. You can have the toes tucked or those feet are flat underneath you. Make sure you have knees about hips width distance. Send your hands to your low back and then drive the palms into the low back to squeeze belly button forward, rolling shoulders back and down. Extend the chin up to the sky. Again, your choice. You can keep the hands firmly grounded in the low back. You can start to slide your hands down the backs of your legs. Or maybe you start to extend the fingertips towards your heels. And we'll hold, squeezing shoulders down, press the hips forward for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. This time, slowly come forward into your child's pose. So you can have knees together or knees apart and start to lengthen the spine out long in front of you. Release here. And then from here, we'll start to lower onto our backs. We'll take thread the needle today for our hip opener. So start to gently place your hips in the center of the mat. You're gonna wiggle your shoulders down. You're gonna lift your left heel up, bend the right knee. You want that right ankle on top of the left thigh, the right arm through the hole, and then grab onto the top of your left knee or underneath your left kneecap. And I want you to squeeze your knees in close to the chest. Flex the toes, squeeze the knees in a little closer to your chest. If it feels good, you can wiggle your knees off to the right and to the left. Feeling that opening in the outer right hip. Flex your toes to protect the kneecaps. Just stay here for a few breaths. I want you to commit to this intention of awareness, not just in your awareness of your physical body, but also the awareness of your spiritual and emotional well-being. I think the challenge is finding that sense of awareness of being right here and now. Sometimes we're searching for something in our past that we can no longer connect to. And sometimes we wait for things in the future, but all we truly have is right now in this moment. You have 5 more deep breaths. From here, spinal twist. Just extend that left foot out in front of you. Hug that right knee in, and then roll the left thigh over the belly. You can have your right arm extended out straight, or it may feel nice in the pectoral muscles to bend that right elbow into cactus. Gaze over at your right hand, move your right thigh over the belly, feeling that opening in that outer right hip in your IT band. Flatten that right shoulder down. When you're ready, we'll set up for thread the needle on the opposite side. So you're gonna pick up your right heel up towards the ceiling, left ankle on top. Bend that right knee, send that left arm through that hole and squeeze the thighs in. Again, you can always just soften the knees closer to the belly and the chest. Or if it feels good to you today, you can wiggle the knees out to right and left. What you're searching for is that opening in the outer left hip. Where can I be a little more aware, no longer numbing, no longer shutting out what is around me, and also finding that balance of not searching for the worst case scenario, making up scenarios in your head. The challenge is being right here, right now. 4 more long breaths. Squeeze those knees in close to the chest. And then when you're ready, spinal twisted out, extending right foot long. Bring that left thigh over the belly and start to extend that left palm off the left side. Again, left arm can be straight, or if you feel a stretch in your pectoral muscles, just bend that left elbow for cactus. Feel for this opening in the left shoulder. Find that opening in your left side into the IT band and the left hip. And then slowly, you'll start to hug the knees into your chest. Draw circles with those kneecaps to massage the low back and decompress that low spine into the ground. I want you to give yourself a tight squeeze, engaging every muscle in the body. Maybe you lift up the heart to the kneecaps, chin to your knees, and hug it into a tiny, tiny ball. Engage every muscle in the body. And then you'll slowly release onto the ground. The most important posture of your practice, Shavasana. Wiggle those hips into the ground to soften the low back into the floor. Roll shoulders underneath the chest and start to create a sense of quiet and release and peace in the body. Close the eyes now. If you become distracted in these final moments together, connect to the mantra, I am aware. I am in control. And I am hopeful. I am aware. I am in control. And I am hopeful. Allow for 10 more deep breaths. Sending a sense of consciousness in your body. Reconnecting to this attention of awareness. Seven to 8 more deep breaths. Perhaps you start to wiggle your head side to side, wiggle your fingers and your toes, and rotate out the wrists and your ankles. When you're ready, just gather the knees into your chest, and then roll over to your right or left side. Just take a few breaths in the fetal position. With the strength of your hands and arms, you'll come up into your seat when you are ready. Just send both hands over your hearts. I am aware. I am in control. And I am hopeful. Send your hands together into prayer, chin to your heart, bow your head down. The student in me bows down and honors the teacher in each of you today. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Send your thumbs to your forehead, the center of your intuition, your third eye. My name is Nicole. Thank you so much and namaste. Thank you so much, guys. I hope that this practice was good for you all. And this is my regular time for this class on Thursdays. It is 2:30 p.m. So if you have any feedback for me, my email address is on that email that I sent for your Zoom. It's just nicole.peralta@gmail.com. If you have any feedback for me or any questions, please join me again. This will be a weekly thing. I also have another beginner class on Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. So, on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. So just check the schedule. I hope to see you guys soon. And thank you so much, ladies, for joining me. And I hope that this has helped you relax a little bit and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, ladies.
Thank you, Nicole. Be well.